Now ready for some adventures. We are about to board our flight to Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. We'll reach there at night. Yeah, we are excited for the journey ahead. A little bit of nervous, but yeah, mostly excited.
See you in Dominican Republic.
Two friends in Santo Domingo.
Sure.
Santo Domingo is a mix of historic center and modern city, so it reminds us so much of our own city, Kolkata. We did not do much on the first day after arriving because it was a late arrival. We arrived at the Santo Domingo airport about 1 in the morning.
Ready to start the journey, so we have a 3 hours flight ahead of us to Santo Domingo.
And then we booked an Uber and came straight to our Airbnb. So the next morning, we woke up late and Inrel made some amazing coffee using this mocha pot. Then we just explored the neighborhood, walked around, and this neighborhood is really nice because we are staying right in the Zona Colonial, which is the colonial zone of Santo Domingo. So we just walked around a bit. And of course, our first meal had to be traditional Dominican food. So we went to a comedor, which is like a local food joint where you can grab some main dish, which is served with a lot of rice. ¿Cuál es eso?
Mangú, plátano.
Plátano. Bueno.
Cathedral.
First lunch in Dominican Republic. Arroz blanco is some spicy chicken and with some potato salad, and looks like something with the beans, kind of lentils.
And I chose a dish of rice and beans with gallina and Russian salad. Welcome to Dominican Republic, the second largest country in the Caribbean. This is not exactly an island country because Dominican Republic shares the island with another country, that is Haiti on the west. But the two countries are starkly different in terms of their political stability, economy, and several other things, and even language, because in Dominican Republic they speak Spanish and in Haiti they speak French. We are in Dominican Republic. We started our journey from San Jose, Costa Rica, and now yes, it is a country in the Caribbean. Of course, there will be beaches, which we are going to explore. But first, we are starting with exploring the history and culture of Dominican Republic. And what better place to start from than the capital city, Santo Domingo, which is supposedly the first city establishment made by the Europeans in the Americas.
So we are at the Plaza España. This is the palace which belonged to Diego Columbus.
The residence of Diego Columbus, the son of Christopher Columbus. Usually you can visit this place, but now it's closed for remodeling.
And behind us, this is the statue of Commander Ovando, who was the founder of Santo Domingo. we love this monument, the Patreon Nacional on Calle Las Damas. So if you are here, don't miss this monument. It's so beautiful, built in the memories of the heroes of Dominican Republic. Most of the buildings in the Zona Colonial are built in 15th century, 16th century, 17th century or 18th century.
So the historic center on the Colonial Zone of Santo Domingo has the status of UNESCO Cultural Heritage. This building, Hospital de San Nicolas, it was the first hospital to be built in the Americas, and it was built in the 16th century, in the early 16th century. Goosebumps. But now all that remains are ruins. I still like this place. It looks beautiful with the remains of the architecture and the ruins. Just to think that it used to be a hospital where people could come and get treated, and now all that remains are just some holes where pigeons and parrots live. This place is now called Church of Our Lady of Grace, because in the early 20th century, that church was built over the chapel of the ancient hospital. Parque Colón is a nice place to hang out with shades of trees, benches, and restaurants around the plaza. And just next to Parque Colón is this church, which is a 16th century Gothic style architecture church and the first cathedral of the Americas. Almost the end of the day, we are now seated at the wall of Santo Domingo. This place leads to Calle Las Damas, which is the first street of the first city of the Americas.
Calle El Conde. This is the Calle El Conde, and this is the road where this new car is just for walking.
Thanks to our Spanish language teacher, we met a poet in Dominican Republic. His name is Cesar Sancion, and he was very kind to show us around his city. César.
Hola, 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 hola. ¿Cómo estás, Bobalí? Gracias por la invitación que se me hace. Muy amable, muy cortés. Ha sido muy agradable haber compartido con ustedes dos y quiero que se repita la visita a la República Dominicana.
Gracias, César, por todos. Over the centuries, Dominican Republic has been conquered many times. First by the Spanish, then there were some pirate conquests as well, then also by Haiti. However, they got their independence every time they were conquered by someone. The Independence Day that is now celebrated in Dominican Republic is what they got from Haiti. And interestingly, Christopher Columbus, who was the first to start this city establishment on behalf of the Spanish in Dominican Republic. He is a celebrated figure here because it's because of him that all the firsts in the Americas started in this place, Santo Domingo. The first hospital, the first church, the first monastery, and everything. Faro Colon. This is a very long building. It is a lighthouse, which is not technically a lighthouse. This was a $1 million project where several countries participated in building this. The importance of this building is that it commemorates the arrival of Christopher Columbus in the Americas, because that is how the city establishment started in the Americas. And this building, Faro Colon, was inaugurated in 1992, which was 500 years after Christopher Columbus arrived in Dominican Republic in 1492.
The Malecon is a long stretch of nicely paved road which you can use just for a stroll beside the sea. And this is the Montesino, the statue Montesino, which is so impressive. And just it overlooks the Caribbean Sea in front of it.
First things first, after arriving, visa. So this is not a visa-free country for Indians. However, if you have a US visa or Canada visa, then you are exempt from the visa requirement. Indra used his US visa and I used my Canada visa. And there were no questions asked at any of the airports, neither at the San Jose airport nor at the immigration here. It was pretty smooth.
But we did have to show our onward journey flight tickets.
And also for Dominican Republic, one thing is mandatory for all travelers, that is you have to fill out an e-ticket. I will put the link in the description box below. You have to put the e-ticket, you have to fill out the form and get your e-ticket, which will give you a QR code, and that contains all the information about your travel dates, your exit date from Dominican Republic, and the first place where you are going to stay. The currency that is used in Dominican Republic is Dominican pesos. $1 US is roughly equivalent to 56 pesos. So airport exchanges are usually expensive. So it would be best if you can carry some pesos from where you're coming, and then you can of course withdraw money from any of the ATMs using your bank card depending on your bank. When traveling in other countries, an important part is getting a SIM card. So here we got a SIM card from Claro. It's pretty easy. You can get a SIM card on your name as a foreigner. You just have to bring your passport, and they will also take a photo of yours to complete the documentation. It took just about 15 minutes to get the number registered. The cost is also pretty reasonable because the number registration costs 300 pesos, and you can buy different internet plans. We took a plan for 10 days, 10 GB, that costs 280 pesos. We are about to leave Santo Domingo now. The best part of our stay in Santo Domingo has been this home where we were staying. It's a beautiful home in the Colonial Zone. A vintage house which has been redecorated with recycled and upcycled materials. And our hosts have been very kind. They're very interesting people. It's Josias, Josias, who is a filmmaker, and Francesca, who is a photographer. And we have two cats, Mao and Mish.
He's the real host. He's the owner of the house. If he don't like it, he will not be here.
we have had many interesting conversations with Jose and Francesca. We learned a lot about the history of the Dominican Republic from them. And also, if you are interested in art and culture, they know the best places to visit in Santo Domingo. And I think all of us are sad that it's time to leave. But it has been an amazing...
But hopefully we'll meet soon.
Yeah. Yes. And we also spent some time watching some of their work, beautiful movies that they have made together. I think we can say that we have two friends in Santo Domingo.
For sure you are.
Thank you so much, Francesca and Osias. Do you want to say?
I wanna.
We are sad to leave, still we need to move on. And we are going to our next destination, Puerto Plata.